So on October 13th, you had a whole bunch of these motherfuckers that, just up and died. They just upped and died. The Sultan of Delhi, Razia 1240, Tom Allen, the 12th Earl of Arundel, 1415. This is all October 13th. The King of Cyprus, Peter II, he's dead, 1382. 1195, Golden Pice, a Portuguese crusader. You got Jingzong, the Emperor of Lion, 982. But the biggest one I want to talk about is Claudius. Claudius is going to die 54 AD. Who is Claudius? This is a Roman emperor. A Roman emperor who was a Roman emperor for 13 years, from 41 AD to 54 AD. I mean, this is the beginning. We just started fucking time, right? We just started counting time. 41 years in, you had Claudius that took over. What was it? Caligula. Caligula had died. Claudius, they found him like hiding in a closet or something. Claudius had a bunch of... He was a drooling... He walked with a limp. He spoke with a stutter. He drooled a bunch. But that's just, we're just insulting his appearance. That's not the... The problem with Claudius is that he was a shitty emperor. He was a shitty emperor. So some people brag about him. Let's talk about the brags. He invaded Britain. He took over Thrace and Judea, Noricum and Pannonia. So he expanded Rome, which, being a colonizing expansionist, that's a waste of treasure. And then they're not going to hold on to Britannicus for long. So he took Britain, but then eventually the Romans are going to leave. So Britain is its own thing today. He had a son named Britannicus. He had a daughter named Octavia. Nero had married Octavia and then poisoned her, killed her off somehow. Britannicus, they did some shit with him too and ended up killing him too. So they said he was a good administrator, some other shit, I don't know. But there's talk about him being poisoned by Agrippa. He had 4 wives. He executed his 3rd wife, Messalina, only to marry his niece, Julia Agrippa. So disgusting, incestuous shit's going on. Tacitus and Suetonius says that Julia Agrippa is the one that poisoned and killed him. So why did he die October 13th, 54 AD? Because of his niece, Julia Agrippa. So he killed Messalina, who had Octavia and Britannicus. Julia Agrippa got close. Julia Agrippa gives the birth Nero. Was Nero actually the son, or was he adopted? Wouldn't that be something? While Rome is burning, Nero is just fiddling, and was Nero Claudius's son? Might have to ask that a different way. But there's poverty all over the place, a whole bunch of homelessness. There's a bunch of riots because of grain shortages and famines. So while he's just, expanding the Roman fucking empire, a lot of people are poor, dying, starving. They said he wasted, they said that he built a bunch of public works, aqueducts, ports, roads, canals, which are important. We need, roads, canals, ports, and aqueducts. But with the wars and the colonization, he's draining the treasury. That's not helping the poor. That's not helping the working class. It's not helping the homeless. He's limping all over the place, stuttering and just drooling all over himself. So he died exactly 1,971 years ago. 1,971 years ago, Claudius, the emperor of Rome, is going to die. Valeria Messalini was executed, they said, because she was married to someone else. Did a public marriage, which sounds crazy. You're married to the emperor and you're going to do a public. A lot of people say that was all trumped up bullshit. That he had pressure from the inside to get that done. Claudius had killed 35 senators. He expelled the Jews in 49 AD amidst riots, which may have been by the Christians. He killed 300 equestrians, killed 35 senators, expelled Jewish people in 49 AD. And then his niece, he married his niece, but because she wants Nero to become king and not Britannicus or Octavia, they're either going to poison the feather. He eats some mushrooms and he thinks that the mushrooms have been poisoned. And then they stick a feather down his mouth so he would puke the mushrooms up. And then people said, well, hell, maybe the poison was on the feather. Maybe it wasn't the mushrooms at all. Which that's got to suck. When you're the king, you could absolutely be poisoned at any time by anybody, you know? Fucking poison. That's why you always have a poison tester. Somebody take a bite of your food before you take a bite of it. Make the cook eat it first. So he's wasting a bunch of this money. He's going to banish... Claudius is going to banish a poet, Seneca. He's going to banish a bunch of people who just criticized him. Nero actually brings Seneca the younger back. That was a Stoic. He was a philosopher and a poet. He was easily swayed by his wives. He was cruel. When it came to gladiator games, he would just make the wounded warriors fight to the death. He would exile his critics. He was into lechery. Just ogling a bunch of women all over the place in the stadiums and Coliseum and at the brothels. He would just ogle at the prostitutes. When they killed Valeria Messalini off, they forced her to commit suicide. Nero was adopted, right? Nero was not the biological son of the Roman Emperor Claudius. Nero's biological father was Gnaeus Dominitius Ahenobarbus. All right, a Roman senator. His mother was Agrippa the Younger. So that means he married his niece who already had a child from a different marriage. And then that motherfucker's going to become the goddamned fucking emperor. So they don't even believe in hereditary succession. They believe in like adoption, sort of like Julius Caesar and Augustus. Agrippa, Claudius's niece, married him in 49 AD, convinced him to adopt Nero in 50 AD, making Nero his stepson and legal heir over Claudius's biological son, Britannicus. This adoption positioned Nero to succeed Claudius, which he did upon Claudius's death in 54 AD at age 16. Wow. So as soon as he adopted the stepson, then the mother got rid of the goddamn father. Now the stepson's a fucking goddamn king. So he's like, oh, he's going to go back to his biological son eventually. You know he's going to go back to his biological son. Well, not if I have something to say about that. Okay, Julia Agrippa, you fucking psychotic motherfucker. You sick, perverted, psychotic motherfucker. And then you brought us Nero. Oh, okay. So Rome's fucking on fire and he's just fiddling away. So Claudius sucks. Claudius is killing senators, killing equestrians, killing knights. There's famines, there's grain shortages. He's wasting the treasury on a whole bunch of goddamn public works that ain't working, and colonization and taking Judea, which is going to, there's going to be a big war, 66, 73, between the Romans and the Jewish people. He was cruel, easily swayed by his wives. He actually staged a sea battle. Last but not least, in 52 AD, Claudius staged this sea battle in a flooded arena. He had 100 ships, 19,000 prisoners and gladiators, and just made them all fight to the death. 19,000 prisoners. You have a whole fucking, like, all of Italy came out to see this goddamn fake sea battle, which, 19,000, it was a way to empty out the prisons. And thousands were killed. It was a chaotic and bloody affair. If they didn't drown, they were being stabbed. There was, the way that they had lined up, so you got, 100 ships, 19,000 men, and then you had the Roman soldiers around the lake to make sure nobody escaped. And then not only did they make sure nobody escaped, but they were throwing catapults and, fucking throwing shit in the middle of the thing. He was cruel. Claudius was a cruel fucking